Good morning, guys, and thank you for tuning in to another one of Leverage Monkey's recordings. Today is the 26th. We're going to go over some stuff. Um, as you probably already know, the short squeeze I was talking about came up and hit that target. On Twitter, I posted the short squeeze is officially over. It is. It hit the peak. Somewhere like 10 or 9 or 10 o'clock last night. But there was like another, I don't know, 100 million, 150, 200 million people that got liquidated. So it was a total of $1.15 billion that got liquidated, $161.5 billion in volume for the day. So let's get into the analysis. Like I said before in the previous recordings, this long trend line here, downward trend line on the RSI was from January 8th. It broke here, went straight up, and you have the DMI here that crossed. On the DMI, it's about 24 on the DMI. Usually people want 25, so it's not quite to the DMI showing the trend. But some people do when it breaks over 20. Now let's get into the volume that everybody was talking about. Where's the volume? And I told you it was probably coming when CME opened. CME opened right about here, halfway through here, and then actually here because I'm on the daily. So CME opened, and we had. If you're on Twitter with me, I told you guys that they might do a fake dump first, which they did a little shake. Was actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was very, very minimal. So you shouldn't have gotten shaken out of it, but maybe somebody did. So here's the analysis. We were in this triangle, and then we broke into this triangle, and now possibly there's this triangle forming that we just moved into. You noticed it did the false breakout to the downside, came back up and touched. It broke actually through the top and then came through in front. So we broke through the top here, but it was like a very minimal pop through. So if you see the first day, it broke through, but then the second day, it really went up and got closer and broke through. So we could get that, this spinning top. We could get the spinning top here. It could go higher from here. I'm not a genie, so I don't know for sure, but what I do know is this, little bit of volume doesn't really invalidate really anything. Bear market bounces do bounce to the 50-day and sometimes bounce off the 50-day. And bear market rallies, people start thinking that the bull market started again or they're out of the bear market. No, we're still very much in a bear market. Or we could be. We won't know that until it's over. Hindsight's 2020, but we could very much be in a bear market. So it is possible. Like I said yesterday, this is the reflection point. We could actually come, up to 40, 50K and have the reflection point there. But if it follows this pattern with the breakdown here and the poke out the top and then the fall in front, This move was not very healthy. There's no coming back and testing the triangle. So I don't consider this move very healthy. I said on Twitter it doesn't look healthy, and it wasn't. It was just pure roasting the bears, the shorts, and they sure got it. But I still cautious here because there's still the potential that we do the same thing that we did last time, where we came up and hit, and then we came down in front. That's still possible that we do the same thing. Um, it's very likely that we could see that. They just introduced, some new Twitter. It's not Tether. It's not FUD. Two executives just got arrested for fraud. It's old stuff, but the media might really start playing it up. So it's quite possible that that's what they're going to use in the next coming days. Um, Tether does about $68 billion worth of inflows into Bitcoin, and there's printing and stuff like that happens in leverage and stuff on that. So if they take out, leverage stablecoin, um, yeah, definitely Bitcoin's price is gonna feel it, and so it's quite possible that 25 is still coming. 23 is still coming. Um, it's very possible that it could happen. Like I said, there's two liquidity voids down here, one here and one here, and usually liquidity voids tend to get filled, and also they like to fill liquidity voids because that's where they can bring it down and accumulate. So and it's somewhat easy for them too in liquidity voids. So I said that this overhead supply of 1 to 6 month new coiners and the over leveraged longs pretty much got wiped out when we made this move down here. The overhead supply got exhausted, and this might be all of this, the replenish of the overhead supply, and getting people to re-leverage long to go back down. Um, it's possible because what I've noticed is it looks like the composite operator, the one pulling the strings. It could be a group of people. It could be just psychology, like people said. But it's the ones that are pulling the strings. Um, it looks like they use Bitfinex to put on their short positions, and they pretty much, when we got to here, took like all of it off. It was all taken off down here. They covered. So this whole move, they really didn't get affected. Some people on Bitfinex that probably wasn't them got squeezed, but not really them. So going to be looking for Bitfinex shorts to start to stack them back on here. That's going to be something I'm going to be watching. I'm also going to be watching the volume to see if it starts dropping back down again. I'm also going to be on high alert during this particular time here, since that's when it did it last time. So that's pretty much after the July 30th options expire, which is pretty much what they're using right now. They used when the FTX spot buyer bought here. They bought a bunch of perp contracts, and then CME sent it. The July 30th contracts are pretty heavy, so that brings us to here, the end of the month. And the end of the month contracts are usually, good amount anyways, but that will bring us to here. So we could see like up here hang out, um, because we're pretty far away from actually the 10-day is the green one. Um, we're pretty far. uh, we're pretty far away from the 10-day, and usually we don't like to. Uh, Securities don't like to get too far away from the 10-day moving average. So it can rest maybe here for the 10-day to come up, or it could, go back down because it was such a volatile move. There's a lot of empty has stuff that hasn't been worked. So it's quite possible that we trend down a little bit, or stay here beating up against this and poking through. That's quite possible. Um, and then either we decide to Bitcoin decides to go up from there, or it decides to go down. Um, for me, I pretty much took off 75% of my leverage, um, and the other 25% I'm gonna probably drop depending on what I see here. So I'll just have my spot Bitcoin position again, which is long term anyways, so I don't care about it dropping. Uh, Pretty much I just trade with trade money. I leave my longs alone. Um, so that's what could happen. That's what I see. It's quite possible that this is the move. Um, Bear market rally. It's very possible that it is. Um, so yeah, we're gonna be watching here. We're gonna be watching to see if we do something. Let me get rid of some of this. So, gonna be watching here to see if we do some sideways, um, and then go up, or sideways and then go down, um, like we did over here. But if you notice, there was 3 to 4 days in here. It started declining. So that's what we could get here if we start losing momentum, which I think the short squeeze is over. Everybody that got squeezed is squeezed. So that move finished here. And I said we were coming to this spot, but I didn't know it was that fast. Short squeezes, real short squeezes. That was a real short squeeze. A lot of people talk about short squeeze on a stock that has 7% short and stuff like that. In the stock market, real short squeezes happen, at like 30% plus shorts on the stock. When it's 30% plus, that's when they become good candidates for that. Anything below that is not really um, probably worth it for them to do. So just recap. It's quite possible here that we go down or we go up. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but if it follows this pattern, uh, this will be the top, or we'll poke through a little bit, and then we'll go back down to 23K. Some people won't want to hear that, and that's based on if it does this again, the exact same thing it did last time, which is not guaranteed. So, but I'm gonna be cautious. I'm optimistic of it going up because I hold my spot, but we're still in a bear market. We're still in a downtrend, so I wouldn't go sticking your neck out here. Uh, the move is already done, or mostly done, pretty much done. So now we're just gonna decide here, or Bitcoin's gonna decide here, and we're just gonna be along for the ride. Elliott wave showed somebody posted some Elliott wave on Twitter, and I took a screenshot of it. What they're showing is this move from here to here is a B pattern. So let me see. Um, they're showing this move as a B. Well, oops. A, B, and then they're showing C all the way down to um, dang it. They are showing, let me fix my chart first. They are showing A, B, and then they're showing C. Somewhere in there. Somewhere in the 22 to 20,000 range is where they're showing C. So they're showing the range somewhere in here. Right in there. That's what they're showing for Elliott wave. Elliott wave can relabel sometimes, so it's not guaranteed. But this is quite interesting that it lines up with my particular pattern that I've noticed in my triangle and everything. And like I said, volume here was nice on the pop, but it's definitely not enough to get us out of a bear market. So it's quite possible that we go back down, especially if they start using the tether, start scaring people with the tether. Two executives getting arrested for fraud, which happened a while ago, from what I heard, but they're already doing headlines, deceiving headlines, and it's really funny that it's coming from CoinDesk. You'd think they wouldn't try to panic people and get people to sell, but I guess they do have institutional clients as well. So it's very deceptive, even though it is true that they got arrested or whatever. But doing a headline, they know most people don't read the article or do research, so it was designed to scare people. So very disappointing in CoinDesk. So that's my analysis. That's what could happen. That's what might happen. Um, Anything's possible. I could be wrong. Do your own research, not investment advice. Just what I see. Liquidity void here and liquidity void there. So this Elliott wave is showing exactly the second liquidity void. The A, B, and the C wave showing exactly the bottom liquidity void. So all of that lines up with this scenario. So it's very interesting. We'll see what happens. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.